A court in Texas, that is, has ordered Pfizer to disclose details relating to its COVID vaccine. Here's Rion.
Since 1986, vaccine makers have been shielded from liability lawsuits, protected by a law designed to ensure pharmaceuticals did not stop making vaccines altogether. There is, however, a flip side to all this. Pharmaceutical companies, knowing they won't be held liable in court for their product, may act in ways not always in the best interests of its customers. Matt Staver, founder of Liberty Counsel, says Pfizer and the FDA together hid the true scale of COVID vaccine injuries from the public. A Texas court is lifting the veil. Pfizer and the FDA have a lot of explaining to do.
They were getting so many adverse events reported to them from the Pfizer shot that Pfizer had to hire additional employees, and they reported this information to the FDA in February of 2021 that they had to hire at least 2,400 additional staff to be able to keep up with the volume of the adverse events that they were receiving. And again, this is only 10 weeks or less after they received the EUA authorization. So this was very early after it began to be available to the public.
Is this a normal scale? Is there any way to tell how normal 2,400 people full-time for adverse events is for a pharmaceutical company?
That's very, very unusual, especially in that early phase of a rollout, to hire 2,400 full-time people. And that was what they knew that they had to do as of February 28, 2021.
Staver says these were oddly details the FDA and Pfizer claimed could not be released for 75 years. A Texas judge overruled this excuse and forced Pfizer to expedite the release of these details.
There's a 38-page document from Pfizer to the FDA that includes 9 pages of single-spaced appendix and with just a word or two regarding each adverse serious condition, and with no explanation of it, just the name of the disease or the serious injury. 1,291 adverse serious injuries that Pfizer knew about within about a year of the release of the document. So that's the kind of volume that we're talking about. That's what they were getting, and the FDA knew about it. Thus the reason why they had to hire so many extra full-time staff.
Now, this 2,400 number, this was part of the redacted portion of the documents that were FOIA'd. This goes to the larger question of transparency when it comes to pharmaceutical companies, and especially when it comes to this COVID vaccine, because we've had now almost $1 billion allocated to Congress to try and boost the public's confidence in these very vaccines.
They continue to push, both Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson, and the FDA and CDC, the narrative of safe and effective. And anything that questions safety or efficacy, they want to censor. So much so that the media has been paid. Unfortunately, your media is not one of those. That's why you're reporting on this. But why are the other media silent? It's because they receive virtually a huge number of media. Lots and lots of money from the federal government, $1 billion worth, to only give positive stories about the COVID shots and suppress any negative stories so that they would overcome what they would call vaccine hesitancy. They want people to get the shot.
Staver concludes the full story is only developing, with the Texas judge ordering for the FDA to release tens of thousands of additional pages by early summer.
I think the watchdogs, the CDC and the FDA, have become the lapdogs of the pharmaceutical companies. And you can begin to see that over the history with respect to the committees and the people that make up those advisory committees and other committees within the FDA and CDC. They're dominated by people who have direct ties or recent ties with the pharmaceutical company. So instead of helping and being the watchdog and protecting the people, we should have known about this. Why, you have to ask yourself, did it take a court order to get this information out?
Matt Staver, Liberty Counsel, thank you so much.
Thank you, my pleasure.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.